Our colleague Brian Sullivan breaking the news today that the country will ship sanctioned oil to the United States indefinitely. He joins us now from the Goldman Energy and Utilities Conference in South Florida with a very special guest. Hi, Brian.
Kelly and Dom, thank you very much. That's exactly right. This is the interview of the day, the week, the month, maybe the year, who knows. It is the U.S. Energy Secretary Christopher Wright. Secretary Wright, thank you very much for joining us. Appreciate it.
Glad to be here, Brian.
First off, I think most people are asking here, maybe the American people even outside of CNBC, is why? What do we hope to get with Venezuela and their energy and their oil?
Well, first we want to stop the importing of crime and drugs into the United States of America. We want to reduce the toehold our adversaries are gaining in the Western Hemisphere. I mean, there's a 25-page unsealed indictment for why President Nicolas Maduro was indicted. The Biden administration had a $25 million bounty on his head, but of course didn't do anything about it. So the problem of Venezuela for America and, of course, for Venezuelans has just continued to get worse.
But what does oil have to do with that? What is the role of oil and energy in this?
Well, what's the role of oil and energy is in this is Venezuela was a major oil producer, could again be a major oil producer, and is today still a significant oil producer. And I think it's the genius of President Trump to realize 25 years of a growing problem in Venezuela, nothing did anything to address that problem. He had a creative, out-of-the-box idea, first of all, to arrest an indicted criminal, and then say, hey, we're going to use oil in commerce instead of guns and soldiers to alter the trajectory of Venezuela going forward. I think it's brilliant. And I think the prospects of changing Venezuela from a country that's trafficking in drugs, guns, and humans and turn it into a prosperous, representative country that's not a menace in the Western Hemisphere and that becomes a prosperous American ally.
I think most people would want Venezuela to be free. They want the people to have a better life. It used to be the richest country in Latin America. Now it's the poorest, or at least among the poorest. Yep. It's a broken, failed state would probably be a fair term. And oil production has gone from 3.5 million to 700,000 or 800,000 a day, whatever that number may be. But what does taking their oil and then selling it have to do with helping to rebuild? Put the dots together between that news, the money, and fixing Venezuela.
Oh, you bet. So number one, we're not taking their oil. We're not taking their oil. We have put a blockade on and prevented them from selling their oil. That's choked off cash flow. They get cash from selling oil and from selling drugs and from human trafficking. So we choked off their revenue sources to get leverage over them. We're going to restart the selling of Venezuelan oil on global crude markets, put it into counts in the name of Venezuela, and bring those funds back into Venezuela for the benefit of the Venezuelan people. We're just going to control the flow of those funds so we have leverage over the people in power to drive them in a better direction.
Where then are we getting the 30 to 50 million barrels that the president initially referenced last night? And then this morning, the news that we broke was that that was going to continue indefinitely. Where then are we getting that oil?
So we put that blockade on Venezuela. They're still producing oil. They can't ship it to the world. So it's in floating storage in tankers, mostly illegal, sanctioned gray market tankers, and it's on onshore storage in Venezuela. So we are in dialogue with the Venezuelan government saying, let's work together to fix Venezuela. We got rid of the head of the gang, Nicolas Maduro and his wife. They're in prison. Work with us. Let's improve your country together. So we're going to now allow those tankers to flow, but we're going to market that crude. They fully understand this. They're a partner in doing that. We're going to allow that crude to be sold so that revenue can be generated, but then we're going to control the flow of that revenue to make sure it's going for productive reasons in Venezuela.
Let me be more direct. Is there a narrative in Venezuela that you are stealing our oil?
I have not heard that narrative. I've seen celebrations in the street and Libre Venezuela out. I think people are thrilled. They've lived under, between Chavez and Maduro, 26 years in a brutal dictatorship that's only devastated that country and hurt the whole hemisphere. So I've not heard that narrative at all. And of course, if it's that narrative's out there, it's untrue. We're just controlling the flow of revenues from their oil.